Hello learners, this is Habiba with Excel with me. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Let's start today's class, that is research in education, with the subtopic approaches to educational research. Till now we have understood what is qualitative research and what are the methods of qualitative research, and what is quantitative research and what are the methods of quantitative research, and what are the main differences between qualitative and quantitative research, and the similarities in data collection methods of qualitative and quantitative we have understood. Now let's take up the topic choosing a research strategy. How to choose a research strategy, that we will understand here. When choosing which research strategy to employ for a project or study, a number of considerations apply. A number of things will be there in the mind. What kind of study you want to do, what is the project, what are the things we need to consider by doing this research. All these things are very important. One key piece of information to help determine whether to use a qualitative versus quantitative research method is which phase of development the study is in. So, which kind of approach you should follow to do the research, whether a qualitative or quantitative method that is to develop is very important for the study. For example, if a project is in its early stages and requires more research to find a testable hypothesis, qualitative research methods might prove most helpful. Now, if you have any project in early stages, you want to see more research to find testable hypothesis things and methods you want to prove most helpful, then you have to go for qualitative research. On the other hand, if the research team has already established a hypothesis or theory, quantitative research methods will provide data that can validate the theory or refine it for further testing. Qualitative, we want to develop some theory. Whatever is done, upon that we want to develop some new theory, that is qualitative. But quantitative, already somebody has done, and then we take the techniques to test and we formulate the hypothesis and we will test the hypothesis to refine for further testing. So it's also important to understand the project's research goals. For instance, do researchers aim to produce findings that reveal how to best encourage student engagement in math, maybe any subject, or is the goal to determine how many students are passing geometry? So, very important to understand when you design any research goal. Researchers should have some aims to produce the findings. These two scenarios require distinct sets of data which will determine the best methodology to employ. In some situations, studies will benefit from a mixed methods also. Sometimes we can take both, not just qualitative or not just quantitative, both. That approach will be called as mixed approach. Now, using the goals in the above example, one set of data could find the percentage of students passing geometry, which would be quantitative. Now, whatever the quantitative research data is collected related to the percentage of students passing geometry is there here. Now, the research team could also lead a focus group with the students achieving success to discuss which techniques and teaching practices they find most helpful, which would produce qualitative data. So, discussion, focus group discussion also can be done to know about the different techniques. So, both can be applied, qualitative and quantitative approach. So, let's conclude the topic here. Education research assesses issues in policy, practices and curriculum design, and it facilitates administrators become aware of answers or identify solutions. So, why these educational research assesses here? What are the things they will assess? Why they are assessing? For the betterment. What are the things they will assess? Maybe issues in policy, whatever policy makers have made the things. If any issues are there, they can do the research work here. What are the practices related to the curriculum design, everything. What are the facilities of the administrators to become aware of all these things, we have to find out the solutions or to identify the things. Here research can be done in educational field. Researchers can conduct small scale studies to learn greater about subjects or topics related to instruction, or large scale ones to gain insight into school systems and investigate a way to improve student outcomes. So here research can be done in a small scale also and in a large scale. Small scale in the sense they can understand the greater about subjects or particular topics related to the instruction. What could be the instructions in the schools? Then in larger ones to gain insight into the whole school system, investigate a way to improve the students' outcome. What things should be done to improve the students' achievement? Here is the large scale research. Educational research often relies on the quantitative methodology. So obviously data will be collected and hypothesis will be tested here. So in educational research, most of the researches are done with the approach that is quantitative methodology. Now quantitative research in education offers numerical data that can prove or disprove a theory, and administrators can easily share the number based results with other school and districts, so that it will be helpful for them to find out their difficulties and problems. And while the research may speak to a relatively small sample size, educators and researchers can scale the results from quantifiable data to predict outcomes in larger student populations and groups. So whatever the research is done, relatively maybe small sample size, or educators or researchers can also take the scales to measure the data whatever they want to collect here, maybe quantifiable data or predicting the outcomes, or the what could be the result of this, what could be the solution of this problem, maybe taken larger population or some groups also, they will understand thoroughly. So we come to the end of this session. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Thanks for your attention and time. Happy learning.